on radio. It's the Dr. Dan Show.
Let me stop you for 1 second. Just in case there's some listeners that are joining us now, I want to introduce you again, Jesse. So this is Jesse Mischner from Tacoma, Washington, correct? It's Tacoma, right, Jesse?
It is Tacoma, yes.
Yes,
thank you.
And we're having her on the show today to talk about what happened with her daughters that were at school at a field day, all-day field day, and they weren't allowed to apply sunscreen, nor were they brought in from the sun during a 5-hour exposure time period, and they ended up back at home with severe sunburns, and they were actually taken to the hospital to have that addressed. So just want to bring everybody up to date. But Jesse, let me ask you this. So was there sunscreen at the school that they could have used, or was there nothing there?
No. They're not allowed. Sunscreen is considered a medication.
Okay.
And so they're even if they had sunscreen in their backpacks, they wouldn't have been allowed to use it. My husband beat me home, texted me images of the girls and said, "This is field day. This is what happened." And I walked in the door and was just horrified to see all 3 girls sunburnt, but 2 of them were significantly sunburnt.
Because they're young, Jesse, right? How old are the 2 that this affected?
11 and 9.
11 and 9, right.
Yeah, and it just blew me out of the water. I had never...
Yeah.
I was horrified.
I mean, as a dermatologist, that blows me out of the water because I know that really ups their risk for skin cancer down the road. And as a parent, it would just break my heart. I would just be you must have just had a moment where you were just in shock.
Well, you do everything you can to protect your kids, and I am fair-skinned, and I had sunburns growing up, and I am fully aware of my mother has had skin cancers removed from her skin.
Right.
You know, I've been able to protect these kids up until now, so it was heartbreaking.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I could definitely. Well, and Lurleen, my wife, she's the executive director of the Shade Project, and part of our goal is to get shade structures out to the schools to protect kids. But Lurleen, you step outside, you're fair complected. What happens when you step outside?
I mean, it doesn't feel good to me. When I'm standing out there in the direct sunlight, a few minutes, and I already can kind of feel like this is not what my skin wants me to be doing. Mm-hmm. So, I'm sure that while they were out there, at some point, they were really not having a good time during field day and probably really miserable. So you kind of wonder, what were the teachers thinking? What were they seeing? And why was no action taken? And I know that's at the crux of what you're asking the officials and the states and everybody. So what happened? What were the teachers doing when they saw this going on?
Well, my best guess is that they feel like their hands are tied for a lot of different reasons. It was a lot of different policies.
Right.
And they felt like, it wasn't an option. The sunscreen wasn't an option. And, we're going to have field day, and it's once a year, and who really... this isn't that big of a deal.
Right.
Although they saw the girls, they commented how burnt they were. Parent volunteers commented how burnt they were. I'm not really sure why they didn't remove them.
Right.
And that is definitely, the district has apologized.
Oh, I'm sure
everybody.
they have.
Yeah, I mean, everybody.
Yeah. They're coming around to your point of view now. Well, it was interesting because I saw, I think I was watching a newsreel or something, and they had, I don't know if it was a school official or who it was, but they were just kind of giving their side early on, and it sounded like he's just, talking from the rule book, like this is it's FDA regulated substance, blah, blah, blah. We can't do this, and kids could get allergies or rashes. And just, I know that this was a person that was just trying to do the right thing and represent the school, but it just, as a dermatologist, that's just ridiculous. I mean, rashes come and go, but sunburns, that can really cause cancer down the road, and I'm just so glad that you did what you did. And it's not even about blaming anybody anymore. Right now, what it's about is just raising awareness and everything you've done. Tell me a little bit about this wave of empowerment that you're feeling.
Well, within 2 hours of me posting on my blog, posting the story on the blog, basically just for my community of friends who were horrified to see my Facebook, my initial Facebook picture.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I was stunned.
Yeah, so, they wanted to know more, so I did a blog post. Within 2 hours of that, I had local media sort of knocking on the door, and then within 24 hours, started hearing from National. So, I mean, the story took off. The story is far bigger than I would have ever thought, but now that I know what I know about, national policy regarding FDA regulated medications or over-the-counter things, I realize what a bureaucratic nightmare this is.
Oh, yeah.
And how fear of litigation has prevented us from really seeing the real issue, which is keeping kids safe.
Yeah, I'm just excited that you're on the show today. I know you're real busy, and I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thanks, and thanks. Sorry about my little timing snafu there. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, we'll stay in touch, Jesse, okay? Then give our best to your girls.
I will. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.